Yo, what's good everyone? Hope you're doing great. So this story is about when my friends and I got arrested while being high. Hope you're gonna like the story, and if you don't, well, fuck you! So let's get right into it. So the story started, I was just at my house as always when my friend Charles called me. He asked me if I was down to do something. And of course I was, so I got into my car, drove to his house and picked him up. And this guy is a little bit younger than me, which means he cannot buy alcohol, but I can. So he asked me if I can buy him a bottle of vodka. I said yeah, and I drove to the liquor store. He gave me 50 bucks and I bought him a bottle of vodka. I got back into my car and gave him the bottle. Then he called one of his friends, which I'm gonna call Alex. So Charles called Alex and asked him if he was down to hang out with us. And of course he was down, so I drove to Alex's house, picked him up, then I drove to a park to chill together. Charles started to drink his vodka straight from the bottle. Me and Alex didn't drink anything because I just can't drink vodka from the bottle like Charles did, and Alex didn't feel like it. After an hour, Charles got really drunk and he got a call from his mother. His mother said that he gotta be there for a family dinner. So Charles immediately started to freak out because he was drunk. Alex and I told him to chill out, and if he locks in, it's gonna be fine. So we all hopped into my car and I drove Charles to his house, and now there was just me and Alex. As we were driving back to the village, because yes, Alex and I were from the same place. Anyways, as I was driving back, I got a call from this guy, which I'm gonna call Tim. So Tim called me and asked me if I was down to do something with him. I said yeah and told him I was with Alex, which didn't bother him. So Tim told me to meet him at my house and he's gonna pick us up. So that's exactly what we did. I drove to my house, waited a little bit for Tim to arrive. Once Tim got at my house, Alex and I got into Tim's amazing car. Like, Tim is rich. He's got a 2023 Kia K4. Anyways, now we had to figure out what to do. Tim suggested that we should go at the Indigenous to buy some firecrackers for fun. We were done even though it was a 1 hour drive. So during the ride, we all just talked about random things. Nothing fun really happened during the ride. After 1 hour, we finally arrived, but we didn't know where to buy the firecrackers. But Tim suggested that we should buy weed instead. Alex and I were obviously down, so we parked his car next to a shop that sells not only weed, but also magic mushroom. I had never seen that much magic mushroom in my life. There was obviously more than 10 ounces of shroom there. But we didn't buy shrooms, we were only interested to buy some weed. So we bought a blunt, and the owner of the shop was so nice, he gave 3 joints for free, 1 for each of us. We were so happy about that. Anyways, we got back into Tim's car and drove to a McDonald's parking lot. Got outside of the car, sparked up one of the blunts, and Alex and I were smoking while Tim was looking at us. He didn't want smoke because he was the driver, which I respected. Honestly, if I was the driver, I'd still smoke. Yeah, really don't care. And don't follow my footsteps. So yeah, and I just wanna mention that it was been months I haven't smoked. So my tolerance was really at 0. Anyways, so we finished the blunt and got into my car. At first I wasn't feeling anything, but 5 minutes later, I was baked as fuck, and I actually started to have a bad trip, but I used my last brain cells to convince myself that everything is fine. Then I actually started to have a great trip. It was getting late, so Tim decided to drive us home. During the ride, I noticed that Tim was going 130 kilometers per hour, which got me worried. So I told him to slow down, but he just said that we were gonna be fine. Then a few minutes later, a cop hidden in the dark pulled from the side of the road and started to follow us. and I noticed that Tim started shooting bricks. Not only that, but we had wind in the car, and the worst that could happen actually happened. The police turned his lights on, so Tim had no choice but to pull over, and now it was time to lock the fuck in. We saw the police officer walking to the window. When he got there, Tim opened his window and the police officer asked for his paper and registration. Tim gave the officer everything he asked for. Then out of all miracle, the cop simply gave us a warning. We were all so relieved. We couldn't even believe what just happened, but the ride back at my house was really quiet. Tim followed the speed limit the whole ride. So yeah, once I arrived, I said goodbye to my friends, and at this point it was about 1 in the morning. So I went straight in my room, laid on my bed and fell asleep like a baby. So that's it for the story. Hope you liked it. Like and subscribe if you want, and goodbye.